Tired of your love-hate relationship with wine?
Welcome to the Feel It Alcohol-Free podcast. Hi, I'm Coach Ruby Williams.
And I'm Coach Susan Larkin.
Join us for Dry January with Feel Lit 21. Press your reset button and discover how to feel healthier and freer.
What's in it for you? Every day we bring you actionable advice, heartfelt support, a caring community, and the inspiration you need.
The truth is, it's about progress, not perfection. What if your goal is 21 out of 31 days in January? There's no failure, only exploring and learning.
Your alcohol-free adventure starts here. Click the link in the show notes to join us.
Welcome back to the Feel It Alcohol-Free podcast. So excited to kick off this. This is a topic that we're really excited to record. So we have a Facebook group, the Feel It Alcohol-Free Facebook group. It's a private group, and several new members have commented that their biggest struggle is to take that leap, to make that decision to go alcohol-free. So we really thought that was a great idea, and we want to address this topic on this episode today. So we're going to start with Susan. So, how did you decide to take the leap?
Well, I think this is a great topic. I think it's something people struggle with a lot. I know when I work with people one-on-one, a lot of times what they tell me is, I want to stop. But they don't want to. They want to, and I get that. I get where they're at. I feel like I was in that same place for about a year, all of 2019, really. I was feeling that way. And I saw a lot of people taking the plunge, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's so great for them. But why is this so hard for me? What's holding me back, And I think it takes experimenting, and I think sometimes it does take time, and it does take your experience with being alcohol-free, and then your experience when you do sometimes drink, and really being curious about it and taking the time to really think, to see how you really feel in your life. And for me, one of the things that really spoke to me at one point in my journey when I did decide to take an extended break, June 1st, 2020, it's about, I think it was about mid-July, I realized that I was holding on to both worlds. It's a tactic from this naked mind that we talk about, but it really spoke to me that I couldn't completely experience how an alcohol-free life would be if I didn't go all in, 100,000%, all the way that I do things, which is my husband's always like, can you just do things at 75%? And I'm like, no, I have to do instead of 150, I'm like, I have to, how about 100? This is me negotiating with him. I had to go all in 100%. How great can life be alcohol free? I just want to see. I needed to see how it would be, because when you keep going back and forth, drinking and then stopping drinking and then drinking and stopping drinking, you never really get the full idea of what it will be like to really go all in. And so the analogy that I liked was this analogy of what I call garage living, is that you can't get into the house. So the house representing alcohol-free lifestyle, all in, if you're still holding on to the car door. Yeah. It's even if you want to be the stretchiest woman, the Incredibles, the stretchy mom, that's how I was. I was I'm not letting go completely, but I'm really trying to get in there, and taste and see if it's good in there before I really let go. And the thing is you can't. You will still be stuck in the garage. You have to let go of the car door in order to get into the house and really experience what it's going to be like. And I don't know, that just spoke to me. And I just realized, I got to let go. I got to completely let go. Mm-hmm. And then there's that moment, and I even liken to it, it's scary because there's that moment where you let go, but you're still not in the house yet. And you're stumbling around the garage, trying to get into the house, and it's uncomfortable. But you cannot get into the house if you're still holding on to the car door, right? So you let go, you stumble around, and then you get into the house. And then you start to really feel what it will be like to really live an alcohol-free lifestyle. So that's the analogy that really worked for me, because I realized, wow, I have been living in the garage for a really long time. And even though it's familiar, it's stinky and gross, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I really relate to that. I tend to use the analogy of like holding on to like a big heavy backpack of like rocks too. And like you kind of have to let some things go. For me,
Yeah.
I was just thinking, we were thinking about this, we were planning this episode and what we're going to talk about. It's I probably knew I said this like for 7 years. I was trying different things on my own, and I just kept getting farther and farther down that pitcher plant, or like trying to get to some rock bottom. And I really don't like the term rock bottom, because it's like, I always want to say, why wait? What are you waiting for? Something so drastic in your life that you maybe can't even come back to. I mean, it's why wait? But I want to like say that I want to give props to my cousin. Her name's Kristen. She, it was January 1st, or first couple days of January 2019. And she called me and she's like, I think I'm going to get alcohol free and I'm going to try to figure this out. Will you take a leap with me? So I think a big part of this can be noticing other people wanting to take this leap, maybe even doing it with a best friend or a cousin or somebody. If you can talk about it. The topic though is such a taboo topic. We aren't talking about it. So, but sometimes your very best friends, especially if they're drinking the same as you, they may be in the same boat as you, where you're waking up every night, beating yourself up, that kind of situation where you're not sleeping really well. And the other question that I asked myself, so I was like, why wait? That's the one thing, like, why wait for a rock bottom is one of my kind of questions to ask myself to take this leap. And the other one is, am I living up to my full potential? That really resonated, like that question. I kept saying to myself, I'm just not living up to my potential in so many areas. Weight gain, exercise. I always wanted to like take more classes or start a business or do something else in my career, and I want to get married again or find a life partner. Like none of these things were happening if I'm just drinking and laying on the couch, and not doing as much as I want to be doing. So I don't know if that resonates for you guys that are listening. Like, ask yourself, why wait, for something? And then are you living up to your full potential? And the next thing I can say about this, how do you then like make a decision or take that leap? And I think it requires some hope. I really do. I think hope, just a little inkling of hope. If you have no hope and it's all doubt or all fear, and there's no like a little bit of excitement, that's where I think hope is like a superpower, and I'm very hopeful for every single one of my clients. I literally can see the potential. I see the potential in them. And that's what I think is so great about being a coach. I don't know if you agree, Susan, but that we can see the potential. We can see it in you. We can totally be your cheerleader. We can be your motivator. We can be your accountability person, and get you to turning around your thoughts so they're more hopeful. And how you can do that is by seeing other people get alcohol free. And I think, if I could do it, you can do it. Like, I really believe that. If I can do it, and I was drinking 2 to 3 bottles of wine a night, like, if I can do it, you can do it. I swear you can do this. You totally can. So it's about taking action, stepping outside of your comfort zone. And if you like the word challenge, like, maybe it's just like a 30-day challenge, and it doesn't mean you have to be perfect either. I love, Susan was saying, like, experiment. But sometimes challenge is a word that it works for me. When I say, like, I'm going to do a walking challenge, I do it. I don't know. I try really hard. So those are a few things that we can talk more about. But what else do you think, Susan? To take that leap. Yeah.
I love what you mentioned about hope and how coaches hold this sort of hopeful space for you. We see things in you, the potential in you, and we try to ask the right questions to pull out the wisdom in you, and to also uncover the hidden things that are keeping you stuck. We get all that garbage out of the way, and then it's like, okay, what is there that you know now about yourself? You know what I mean? When those things are out of the way, and the shame and the blame and the little black cloud that alcohol was, that keeps you down, that at least that I felt like Pigpen, that I was going around with this little black cloud around me of, of shame and blame or from alcohol. And, it's a depressant, so it keeps you down too. You just can't, like you said, live up to your full potential, or sometimes feel like you can think straight, right? So it takes a little bit of time to kind of uncover all those things. And like you said, it's progress, not perfection. And I just think that taking that step of like, okay, I'm doing this for me, believing in yourself, I don't know, it's magical. I feel like that when you just make that choice versus letting like it happen to you, like this whole idea of waiting for a rock bottom is like waiting for something to happen to you that then makes you have to make a decision, versus you choosing to activate this inside of you for this, this want power, I want to try this, I want to experience all that this has to offer. Because honestly, you can go back to drinking and it's going to be around, right? So I always say, why not go all in? Go all in. And in the end, if you decide you want to go back to drinking, okay. But it's like, you won't know unless you really go all in, right? And see what and gain that experience, and then see, can I achieve more than I thought I ever could alcohol free? Is my life better alcohol free? Do I feel better? How do I feel about myself? Are my relationships better? It's not like a magic bullet, but I feel like just being alcohol free doesn't like solve all your problems, but it gives you the ability and the resilience and the ability to solve your own problems, which is so empowering. And so I just think that making that choice versus the activating versus the passive, right? It just activates something in the universe. You say universe, I say God. I just feel like God comes along behind you. We talk about this idea of a moving walkway. It's like you step on, like at the airport, when you step on the moving walkway and you're just going a lot faster than everyone else. Or that song, I don't know, I'm totally dating myself, but the wind beneath your wings, you know what I mean? Where you just feel like, ooh, I hit a tailwind and now I'm soaring, it just gives you, in my opinion, it activates something magical in the universe, or with God, I would say, to propel you forward. And then it's taste and see what it's like, really give it a 1,000% try, and most, I would say, I don't know anyone who's just been like, it's okay. Once they go all in, usually almost everybody, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who's like, no, it wasn't for me. Everyone's like, no, it's amazing. And that's, but you don't know. It's like being in the garage and hearing everyone in the house going, come on in, it's amazing. And you're in the garage going, I don't know. I don't really believe it, but you're not going to know unless you let go of the car door and leave the garage. You know what I mean? You cannot find out if you stay in the garage. So yeah.
What I did as part of my story was I did a challenge, like an experiment or a challenge. Or, again, you can use it, different words, whatever resonates with you. At first, I did more of a challenge, right? Where I was very like, I'm going to stop and see what it's like. And I just kind of white knuckled it. And excuse me, I was trying to do a 30-day challenge, and I got to about 17 out of 30 days. But let me tell you, I couldn't believe how that was huge success. I didn't do 100%, but I knew that's how I wanted to live. Like I felt so much better, even with just a couple weeks alcohol free. I was sleeping better. I was waking up with more energy. I started to feel like feelings of joy and gratitude, and like just feel the feel. I love, that's why we named her again, our podcast, Feel Lit. But I started to feel lit, even in just a matter of weeks. And then I said, okay, I want to get to 30. I want to really get to 30 days, And I treated I treated it like a newborn baby. I like this. Like, okay, if I had a newborn baby, I would probably go to bed early. I'd sleep a lot. Might take baths every night. Make sure I was eating. Well, I'm not going to take my newborn baby to a bar. I'm not going to take my newborn baby right away, out, with my drinking friends, for example. So I made my decisions to really protect my newborn baby, which was my alcohol-free journey. And that also resonates with me. And so what did I do? I knew I could do anything for 24 hours, and I just kept one day at a time, and I just kept building on that. And then I did finally get to 30 days. And then I'm like, well, what's 60 days going to be like? And then I'm like, well, maybe when I get to 90 days or 100 days, I'm reset. But then when I got to 90 or 100 days, I was like, well, I feel so much better, even more better. Now I'm losing weight, and just all the different benefits were compiling and growing, and they kind of grow exponentially, like a little seed that plants into a huge tree. It's how this alcohol-free journey is. We're trying to paint these pictures for you because we want to instill a little hope. But there is a decision making here. You do actually have to take this leap and give it a try at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. And I realize we're talking about this in December, and people are like, what are you talking about? It's December. We got Christmas. We got everything. And so it can be, like we've talked about before, it can be a great place to start. It can be a great place to experiment, even to start in December going, well, I'm going to go to this Christmas party or holiday party not drinking and see what it's like. And then I'm going to go to one and drink and see what it's like, and compare and contrast, and just be curious and experiment. And then a great time to take a leap is in January, because so many people are doing dry January. So it's almost like you get a get out of jail free card, right? Because you can go out, you can go to restaurants and just tell people you're doing dry January, and everybody just nods along like, oh, okay. And like restaurants even have specials and stuff like that. So just socially, it's almost easier to start your journey in January and just see, do a challenge with hundreds and thousands of other people, and with us.
Secret. I'm going to let the secret out of the bag.
Okay.
We are going to do. I want to say something, because I want you guys that are listening right now, put it on your calendar. We're calling it a Feel It 21. So we are actually starting on the 10th of January. Why is that? Because we feel like maybe, I don't know, the holidays and everything, it's just a lot. And so you can start to just kind of get curious the first week of January. And then we are having a 21-day program. We'd love for you to join, because there'll be community. Yeah. And the community is what's big, actually, because then you don't feel so alone. And
yes. And hearing other people's experiences, hearing the similarities, hearing other people's struggles, hearing those similarities, it just helps you know you're not alone. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What I see constantly is so many shared experiences, and we're all such different people, but guess what the common denominator is? Alcohol. Alcohol works in our bodies and brains and our lives with the havoc it wreaks in similar ways in so many people. And so it just speaks again to the fact that it's not a person problem, it's a substance problem, and that substance is alcohol.
And it's addictive to everyone or anyone. It can be addictive to anyone, and it's not your fault if you've tipped that scale. It's a spectrum. It's almost a continuum. It does go faster and faster and faster as your tolerance increases, but it's not your fault. It is not your fault. I hope I can repeat that a million times, because I know that I was doing the best I could with the tools that I had, and it was alcohol that was my coping tool for stress and all kinds of things. And I know that you're doing the best you can. And you just are using alcohol as that duct tape to life. So we'd love for you to join our Feel 21 program.
Yeah.
So it's like
and invite
Dry
a friend. It's
Yeah.
great for people just curious because we were trying to make it really accessible at 21 days. And if you've struggled back and forth, it's a great place to take the leap. And then after 21 days, like Ruby did, well, what would another 21 be? And then what would another 21? And then, of course, it's always progress, not perfection. So you drink. We call those data points because we want to get the data out of the data point and see, okay, what went on there? There's a stronghold there. Maybe there's a belief there. There's a, we think we value alcohol to help us in this way. And it's like, okay, well, I need a new tool then for that. If this is the job I'm giving alcohol and I want to fire it from that job, then we don't want to leave a void. We want to have a resource. So that's how you find out all the jobs you've given alcohol. Like sometimes we think we know, and then, we find out there's all kinds of other ones as we go through our life. And it just is one, just getting curious, experimenting, and being willing to having a growth mindset, being willing to grow and learn and change and not worry about forever, but just say, I'm all in. I want to see what this is like. I want to see what everybody in the house is talking about.
Yeah. And there is so much hope. I want to go back to the hope piece because that can get you to take the leap. If you believe that or both, like curiosity, like I'm curious to what alcohol-free, lifestyle's like, or what's it like to be 2 weeks alcohol-free or 21 days and then that hope piece where you can have that mindset of, I can do this, others have done it. I can do it. And instead of, I've always failed, I hear that a lot from a lot of my, I've failed in the past. Why do you think this is going to work? Because it's different, and it's about mindset is what we do in our program. So I would just love for you to take the leap. Dip that toe in the pool first. You might want to
not just dip your toe. Yeah. Dip, and then let's all do cannonballs.
I love it. Yeah. We dip our toe maybe for an alcohol-free weekend, and we have a guide for that. And then you go, I love that cannonball.
Cannonball.
Or the high dive, right? You're going to do the flips and high dive.
That's probably what it feels like. I know it does. I know that's exactly how it feels. There's actually, I have a video of myself when I was in Hawaii. There's this thing called the Mermaid Hole near where my cousin lives. And this is on the Big Island. And it's this big, it's all these rocks surrounding this like swimming hole, and they're pretty high up, and then you jump into the water, right? So they've done it a million times. So we all scramble up there, and then they jump, and I'm standing there going, looking down, and there's this video of me. I sit back down, and then I kind of get up, and I look over, and then I kind of pull back, and then I pull forward, and I pull back, and they're like, just jump. And then, but I was like scared. So I get it. It's just like taking that plunge. It is like, okay. And then once you do it once and you're in the water, it's like, oh, that was so fun. And this was fine. And I'm still alive. And
you can always get back. It's called, stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? Where you dive off the high dive, what like Susan was saying, but you can always climb back out the ladder, out of the pool, out of the the lake, and take a breather. Maybe you have data points again, and you can go back in. You can do next time it might be the cannonball, where you run and have a big smile on your face, and because you know that this alcohol-free living is so amazing. You start to get glimpses
that you really want,
and that you really want. Yeah. The question to ask yourself is, how do I want to feel? Mm-hmm. That is the question. It's not about the behavior so much as how you want to feel, your emotions. And
in your life, in everything. And again, it's not perfect. And sometimes we quit drinking, and then we realize all the things we were drinking over, and we have to deal with those things, right? Yeah. But then our life overall, once we start working on those things, is overall better, and we feel better as we're working on those things. So, and I guess the word resilience, I think I used that word before, comes to mind, and empowerment. You just start to realize I can do anything without needing a drink, and how powerful that is.
Yeah, it's all about empowering.
Yeah, it's very disempowering to think, oh, I can't handle this unless I have alcohol. Like, Yeah. I mean, and I felt that way. So I definitely did. And I get, it's like, it's definitely a mindset shift, but it takes that experimenting. It takes going all in, cannonball, hop in it, jump in the pool, jump on into the mermaid hole with me and with Ruby, and we'll be here, right here with you.
You can jump in and make the leap, and also then go back. What I'm saying is you can go back again and kind of then maybe experiment again. Just like Susan was saying, have one holiday party alcohol free, one holiday party drinking, and compare and just go in and out. And it's a journey. Really, the joy is in the journey. I love that phrase too, because this is a whole journey. Well, this is a good time to segue. Susan, one of my favorite parts of the whole episode is to ask, what do you do to feel lit alcohol free? What are you doing right now?
I started using this phrase, and I've actually been giving it also to my clients, and it seems to be working, because a lot of times we just get so down on ourselves. And that was another reason why I would drink too, is I get really down on myself, and then it'd just be like, oh, why bother? Or I would just be so frustrated, and I just want to feel better because I would, be beating myself up. And so if I feel like I'm making a mistake, or I'm starting to just feel, I don't know, down about something, I'm acknowledging it. Like, okay, I wish I could have done better in that conversation with my son. And I still love and accept myself. And I got this from tapping, right? When we go through the tapping, we acknowledge how we feel. And then the phrase is, I'm feeling this way and I still love and accept myself. And then we go through the tapping. And I've just started just saying, I'm having a really rough morning and I'm so unorganized, and I should have done da by now, and I still love and accept myself. So it can be both, and it can be, I think I wish I could have done this better, and I still love and accept myself. It's that self-compassion. It's this, it's even though, nevertheless, it's sort of, it breaks that black and white thinking up, like everything's black, or everything's good or everything's bad. It's sort of like, this could have been better, and I still love and accept myself.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm going to adopt that for the next couple of weeks and like practice it and see how it goes. What I do, which is similar, is more like, if I'm feeling anxious about something, I'll just be like, I'm loved, I'm safe, I'm okay. And I'll just repeat that. So it's kind of similar, but I love it. I love and accept myself. Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So for us perfectionists that beat ourselves up a lot, it's it's sometimes even hard. Like you start to like beat yourself up and go, like, oh, Susan, you should have done da 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 da. And it's like, and I still, but it's magical because it really does change.
Just calms you.
Yeah. It changes the dynamic of that beating yourself up, and it gives you immediate relief in some ways. And so that also, if you still drink over those things, it really does help you not to feel like you need a drink for that relief, because you're giving yourself that self-compassion. So
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this helps our listeners who are on the fence and not quite ready to take that big leap or, do the cannonball.
Do it with us, January 10th.
Yes, we would love to see you in our program and our Facebook group. So join the Facebook group for sure, because that's where you're going to find out lots of information about what's going on, what we're doing. And so we'd love to see you there. We're having lots of fun in the Facebook group as well. Well, thank you for listening. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Join us for Dry January with Feel Lit 21. Press your reset button and discover how to feel healthier and freer.
What's in it for you? Every day we bring you actionable advice, heartfelt support, a caring community, and the inspiration you need.
The truth is, it's about progress, not perfection. What if your goal is 21 out of 31 days in January? There's no failure, only exploring and learning.
Your alcohol-free adventure starts here. Click the link in the show notes to join us.